Hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to my Fallout New Vegas Lonesome Road DLC Unique Loot Guide. This guide will showcase and explain how to get all unique loot within the Lonesome Road expansion for Fallout New Vegas. As always, there are timestamps in the description if you wish to skip to a particular section, but without further ado, let's get into the video. First up is the first Eddy upgrade. Make your way into the Hopeville missile silo and head down the tunnel. Once the power has been restored, take the first left and head down the corridor. On the floor will be a destroyed eyebot and inside will be the first Eddy upgrade. This upgrade will allow Eddy to repair your weapons once a day, essentially allowing you to fix all your weapons to max condition for free. Next up is the US Army General outfit. This is its own unique item and can be found at the Hopeville missile silo. Once you get to the top floor, head around the rocket and enter the right hand door. Behind the desk will be the dead body of General Retzlaff and on his corpse will be the outfit. This outfit has a DT of 1 and grants a bonus of 10 into speech as well as 5 into guns. Next up is the second Eddy upgrade. Once you've left the missile silo, head to the Hopeville Missile Base headquarters. Once inside, take the left hand path and head into the first room on the left. Underneath a desk will be a destroyed eyebot and on its corpse will be the second Eddy upgrade. This upgrade will allow Eddy to craft microfusion or energy cells once per day. Before leaving, head back out the room and head down the corridor and enter the room on the second left. Inside the room will be a hard lock safe. Pick the lock and inside will be the armory access codes. Once you have the codes, head out the building and make your way down to the bunkers. Use the terminal to open the armory, head inside and in a locker will be some riot gear and helmet. Although not unique, the riot gear and helmet is quite rare. The riot gear has a DT of 20 and provides a bonus of 5 into guns and 1 into agility. The helmet has a DT of 4 and provides 1 into perception as well as granting the player sneak sight when crouching. Next up is Ulysses Log Y17.15. This log is one of 6 and can be found at the Hopeville Missile Base loading station. Make your way through the locked gate, head forwards and the log can be found in the toolbox. Next up is Red Glare. This is its own unique weapon and can be found at the Marked Men camp. Make your way up a destroyed building and right next to the laser detonator will be the weapon. Red Glare. If you have the caps, it is possible to buy 3 separate mods for this weapon from any of the commissaries. It has a damage of 20 as well as doing 40 additional explosive damage. The weapon however cannot deal a critical hit. The Red Alpha Strike mod will increase the rocket's projectile speed by 200%. The Red Auto Launcher will increase the weapon's fire rate by 25%. And finally the Red Glare Far Sighting mod will increase the weapon's zoom by 4.35%. Next up is the Marked Beast Helmet. This is its own unique armor and can be found at the Marked Men Guard outpost. After blowing up a warhead that is blocking the path, head inside and you will come across the Marked Men boss Blister. Simply kill him and loot the helmet on his corpse. The helmet has a DT of 3 and provides a bonus of 10 into energy resistance as well as 2 into energy weapons. Next up is the second Ulysses Log Y17.21. This log can be found at the Marked Men Supply Outpost. Make your way down to the outpost and on the side will be a locked gate. Pick the lock and on a metal shelf in the corner will be the log. Next up is the Marked Beast Face Helmet. This is its own unique armor piece and can be found on the high road. Upon entering the high road, move slightly forward and you will find the Marked Men boss Beast. Simply kill him and loot his corpse for the armor piece. The helmet has a DT of 3 and grants a bonus of 3 to melee weapons as well as 2 into your critical chance. Next up is the third Ulysses Log Y17.16. This holotape can be found at the Crow's Nest. Start at the bottom and use the debris as a path to climb all the way to the top. Cross the gap and next to a bedroll will be the holotape. Next up is the Advanced Riot Gear and Helmet. This is a unique version of riot gear and can be found right next to the third Ulysses log. From the log's location, take a right and head all the way to the end. You will find a corpse wearing the armor, simply loot the armor off the corpse. The Advanced Riot Gear has an increase in DT from 20 to 21. Additionally, the armor's condition has been increased from 500 to 600. The armor also grants a bonus of 10 to explosives and 1 to endurance. The armor also weighs less from 30 to 25. The helmet has an increase in DT from 4 to 5. The condition has also been increased from 75 to 85. The helmet also provides a bonus of 2 to endurance as well as providing sneak sight when crouching. Next up is the Roughin Bedroll. This is a unique item which allows you to sleep anywhere in the world without having to use a bed. Continue on the high road until you get to a warhead on a truck. Just before finding this you will find the bedroll leaning against a concrete barrier. Next up is the fourth Ulysses Log Y17.22. This can be found at the end of the high road. Before continuing on to Ashton at the end of the high road, make your way around the cliff and follow the route around until you come to a small camp. In the corner leaning against a rock will be the holotape. Next up is the Lonesome Road Snow Globe. Take the path down from the high road to the Junction 7 rest stop. Head inside the building and make your way up to the second floor. Inside on the top of a bookshelf will be the snow globe. Next up is the second Roughin Bedroll. Before continuing on to Ashton, make your way down the right hand path. Inside a small stone hut will be the second bedroom. Near to the second Roughin Bedroll will be the Marked Beast Tribal Helmet. This is its own unique armor piece and can be found on the Marked Memboss Bonesaw. Head towards the wrecked building and simply kill him and loot the armor piece from his corpse. This armor piece has a DT of 4 and provides a bonus of 3 into both melee weapons and unarmed. Next up is the Industrial Hand. This is a variant of a Power Fist, and although it's not unique, it's one of the most powerful weapons in the game, and it's considered very rare as there are only 4 of these in the DLC. The weapon can be found at the Ashton Silo Control Station. Head to the location, take a right, and the weapon can be found on a shelf in a toolbox. The weapon has a damage of 50, however requires a strength requirement of 7 as well as an unarmed requirement of 75. The weapon is an automatic weapon, being able to deal continuous attacks. The weapon also ignores all DT and DR when attacking. The weapon checks for critical hit attacks every tick rather than every second, allowing you to perform a lot of critical hits at once. Next up is Bloodknap. This is a unique version of a Bowie knife and can be found within the Courier's Mile. In order to enter the Courier's Mile, you will need to launch the missile from Ashton. After doing so, head to the Courier's Mile. Once you enter, on the left hand side of the path will be a pole and stabbed into it will be the weapon. The weapon has an increase in damage from 23 to 30 as well as a crit damage increase from 35 to 45. The weapon also provides a bonus of 10 into sneak and has 0.5 more range than a standard Bowie knife. The weapon has a decrease in AP cost from 20 to 17 and requires a lower melee weapon skill from 75 to 50. This comes at the cost of a higher strength requirement from 3 to 4. Next up is the third Eddie upgrade. This can be found within the Ashton Missile Silo. Make your way into the silo and head past the elevator sequence. Once done, head through and take the first right through to the room with the crater. Use the catwalk to make your way around to a utility door, hack the terminal to open the door, and within the room will be a destroyed Eyebot with the upgrade on its corpse. This upgrade increases both the player's and Eddie's DT by 2 points. Next up is the 5th Ulysses Log Y17.23. This log can be found midway between the Sunstone Tower roof and the ground. After exiting to the area, make your way down to the floor beneath the roof and use the catwalk to walk over to another section of the building. On a desk will be the log. Next up is the 4th Eddie upgrade. This can be found within the municipal sewers. Make your way to the 3rd Street Municipal Building and enter the sewers. Head down the pipe and halfway down will be the destroyed Eyebot and on its body will be the upgrade. This upgrade increases the damage the player and Eddie deals with beam weapons by 5 points. Next up is the Elite Riot Gear and Helmet. This is a unique version of Riot Gear and can be found at the 3rd Street Municipal Building. Continue through the sewer pipe and use the next exit where you will be on a higher level. Next to a window will be a corpse with the Riot Gear on him. Simply loot the corpse to grab the armor. The armor has an increase in DT from 20 to 22 as well as an increase in armor condition from 500 to 750. The armor has a decrease in weight from 30 to 23. The armor also grants a bonus of 10 into guns as well as 1 into charisma. Additionally, the armor grants a bonus of 5 to critical chance. The helmet has an increase in DT from 4 to 6 and provides a bonus of 2 to perception as well as 5 to speech. Next up is the 6th and final Ulysses Log Y17.17. This holotape can be found west of the Sunstone Tower roof. Make your way there and blow up the warhead blocking the path. When heading towards the Cave of Abaddon, take a left where there will be a building on its side. Within the corridor at the very end will be the holotape. Next up is the 5th and final Eddie upgrade. Before taking the path towards the Cave of Abaddon, take a right and use the rubble to head up to a small cliff with a warhead on top. Take a left and jump through a small gap in the rocks where the final destroyed Eyebot will be. Simply loot the upgrade off its corpse. This final upgrade increases the damage done in VATS by 5%. Next up is Rawr's Talon. This is its own unique weapon and will require you to kill a Deathclaw boss called Rawr. Start from the Boxwood Hotel roof and make your way to the ground floor. From here, make your way south past a burst pipe and into a small cave. Rawr will spawn, simply kill him and take his claw. Once you've done that, simply go to any workbench to craft the weapon. The weapon has a damage of 50 as well as a crit damage of 75. Additionally, the weapon has a critical chance of 2 and deals bonus critical damage as well as double bonus damage to limbs. The weapon also grants a bonus to critical chance. This comes at the cost of an unarmed requirement of 100 as well as a strength requirement of 6. Next up is the Marked Beast Eyes Helmet. This is its own unique item and can be found northeast of Ulysses Temple. Make your way there where you will come across the Marked Memboss Blade. Simply kill him and loot the armor piece from his corpse. The helmet has a DT of 3 and grants a bonus of 10 to hit points as well as 3 to melee weapons. Next up is Old Glory. This is its own unique weapon and can be found on Ulysses at Ulysses Temple. It can also be obtained when finishing the DLC back at the Mojave if you don't wish to kill Ulysses. The weapon has a damage of 45 and a crit damage of 80. It has a crit multiplier of 1.5 and has the effect of dealing bonus critical damage. Additionally, the weapon grants a bonus to critical chance. Next up is Ulysses Duster and Mask. The Duster is its own unique item and the mask is a unique version of a breathing mask and like the previous items can be found on Ulysses. It can also be obtained when finishing the DLC back at the Mojave if you don't wish to kill Ulysses. The Duster has a DT of 13 and grants a bonus of 1 to Charisma as well as 5 into critical chance. The mask has an increase in DT from 2 to 3 as well as an increase in radiation resistance from 5 to 50. After dealing with Ulysses, if you wish to acquire the rest of the uniques added by the DLC, you will need to launch the nukes at both the NCR and Caesar's Legion. Doing so will unlock 2 new locations, the Long 15 and Dry Wells. Next up is the Courier Duster. This is a unique version of Ulysses Duster and is found once you return to the Mojave within a footlocker. The Duster will vary in both its looks as well as its effects depending on the reputation the player has with various factions. Each Duster variant will all have a DT of 13 and will weigh 3 pounds. If the player has the highest reputation with the NCR, they will receive the Great Bear variant. This Duster grants a bonus of 1 into endurance as well as 25 into carry weight. If the player has the highest reputation with Caesar's Legion, they will receive the Fighting Chance variant. This Duster grants a bonus of 1 into strength as well as 15 to action points. If the player has neutral or negative karma with all of the major factions, they will receive the Blackjack variant. This Duster grants a bonus of 1 into luck as well as 13 to poison resistance. And finally, if the player has the highest reputation with the Strip, the player will receive the Old World Justice variant. This Duster grants a bonus of 1 into agility as well as 30 to radiation resistance. Next up is the Armour of the 87th Tribe. This is its own unique armour and can be found at Dry Wells. Head to Dry Wells where you will come across the Centurion boss Gaius Magnus. Simply kill him and loot the armour from his corpse. The armour has a DT of 22 and provides a bonus of 10 into AP, 3 into critical chance as well as 1 into charisma. This armour is also not considered faction armour, meaning you can wear this armour without being associated with Caesar's Legion. Next up is the Red Victory Grenade Launcher. This is a unique version of a grenade rifle and can be found at Dry Wells. Head to the western side of the area and make your way up a cliff past the broken tower. On the cliff inside a gun case will be the weapon. The weapon has the same damage of a normal grenade rifle, however it is able to fire quicker than a standard rifle, being able to deal 3.2 attacks per second instead of 2.1. Additionally, its AP cost has been decreased from 35 to 29 as well as its weight being decreased from 6 to 4. Next up is the Scorched Sierra Power Armor. This is its own unique item and can be found at the Long 15. Head to the Long 15 where you will come across the NCR boss Colonel Rawr. Simply kill him and loot the armor from his corpse. You will need power armor training in order to use the armor. The armor has a DT of 24 and provides a bonus of 25 into fire resistance as well as 1 into strength. The armor also regenerates the player's health by 2 points per second. This armor is also not considered faction armor, meaning you can wear this armor without being associated with the NCR. The final item is the Great Bear Grenade Rifle. This is a unique version of a grenade rifle and can be found at the Long 15. Near where Colonel Rawr spawns, you will find a small camp with supplies. Inside one of the containers will be the weapon. The weapon's damage and crit damage has been increased from 1 to 15 as well as its AP cost being decreased from 35 to 32. Additionally, its spread has been decreased from 1 to 0.5 as well as its weight being decreased from 6 to 5. And there we have all of the unique loot within the Lonesome Road DLC. I hope you find this video helpful and as always, thank you for watching.